Hey guys, this is Spartacus here, and this is going to be my Modern Warfare 3 final review video where I cover the campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. The multiplayer will by far be the biggest portion of this video that I'll be discussing, but I also feel a little weird even making a final review video for Modern Warfare 3 because it kind of almost seems like I'm implying that I have been uploading content continuously throughout the year on this channel covering this game, but I was looking at my Modern Warfare 3 playlist that I created here on my YouTube channel, and there's only 8 videos on it, and I'm definitely aware that I have not been uploading content in the last couple years. I really has been dry, and of course that is a whole different conversation that I've kind of already talked about in my anniversary video, so I definitely won't dive deep into there, but I do apologize for anyone who has been subscribed to my channel and has been wanting to see more content from me. It has just been hard to balance out my life now that I am in my mid-20s and trying to figure out how to maintain a steady job and, of course, create videos for you guys. So definitely not always the easiest thing, and I'm going to try and do better at that. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and focus on Modern Warfare 3 here, because I actually have a lot of positive things to say about this game, and it actually really makes me happy to see that so many other content creators, when they've uploaded their final review of this game, they also seem to share plenty of the same opinions that I do, which is great to see, and I'm glad to see that everyone is giving a positive recognition towards Sledgehammer games because they deserve it. They deserve all the positive recognition that they've done for Modern Warfare 3, and let's just talk about that, why that's the case in this video. So let's go ahead and actually start with the campaign for Modern Warfare 3. It is funny starting with the campaign here in Modern Warfare 3 because I literally was just praising how great Sledgehammer Games is and how great of a job they did with this game, but to be honest with you, not a fan of the campaign. Now, I do believe the campaign was made by Infinity Ward. I don't think Sledgehammer Games made this campaign. I would have to fact check this, but if I'm being honest with you guys, I didn't even play the campaign, and I think it's pretty clear to most people that this campaign did not have a positive recognition throughout majority of the community, and it sounds like for pretty good reason. And I know I'm not going to talk about this long because I obviously didn't play it, but from everything I've heard about the Modern Warfare 3 campaign, I heard that it was a pretty short campaign. At least that's what it sounded like by the majority of people. It didn't seem like a very long storytelling campaign. Also, it seemed like they added some missions where they were open world, and so you could go ahead and loot and craft items and stuff like that, which we kind of saw crafting in the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, but I never, of course, experienced it. It doesn't seem like the open world missions were really all that great, and nobody seemed to rave about them, so I'm not really sure what the deal was. Of course, Makarov was the main antagonist in this game, and it's cool to see Makarov return in this rebooted series that we have within the Modern Warfare trilogy, or at least right now it's a trilogy. We'll probably get a 4th Modern Warfare, let's be real here. But it sounded like Makarov didn't seem as menacing as they were hoping to be, because he was definitely a very menacing villain that we had in the original Modern Warfare trilogy, and it sounded like people weren't really getting that vibe off of him. And also, this is a spoiler. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. You might have to skip the video in 30 seconds so you can just avoid this, but Soap dies, right? Soap dies in this campaign, which of course I didn't even play it, so it's been spoiled to me, but it sounds like his death wasn't even noble. It just seemed pointless. It just didn't make sense, I guess. And of course, when someone dies within Call of Duty nowadays, it seems like they always come back later, death doesn't really mean anything in Call of Duty, apparently. So yeah, apparently the story didn't land with Modern Warfare 3. I know it was released early, and I think that's something that we're never going to see again, and I think that's just, honestly, that's on Activision. That's on Call of Duty for not providing us a good campaign, because I like the idea of having early access to a campaign before the multiplayer or zombies mode comes out, because that way I can actually focus on it and not feel like I'm missing out on the other modes when the game releases. And I know a lot of other people share the same opinion with me on that. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to play the campaign. I might actually play this and just grind through it real quickly before Black Ops 6 launches, but yeah, I did not hear any good things about this, and that's unfortunate to actually hear. Moving away from the campaign, I want to focus now on the most important part of the video, and that is the multiplayer mode within Modern Warfare 3. This is by far the best multiplayer experience, especially when it comes to post-launch content, that we have ever had since the seasonal system has been introduced and implemented into the Call of Duty franchise, which of course started in Modern Warfare 2019, right? Ever since Modern Warfare 2019, we've had the seasonal system, and I feel like it's not every single season that some of the content is pretty good, you know, that we get in multiplayer, and then there's plenty of other seasons where there's lots of dry content when the new season approaches for multiplayer, and so you have to go through this entire season without like really any updates, and that can just be extremely annoying. However, that is not the case here within Modern Warfare 3. I cannot believe how well Sledgehammer Games actually made their multiplayer look. So I'm actually going to do a very quick run through of the content we got within each season of Modern Warfare 3. And now keep in mind, I'm only going to be talking about the multiplayer content here. I'll show the roadmaps and everything within that content for each season, but I'm only going to be highlighting what I would be considered the most important parts that multiplayer got within those updates. So let's just go ahead and just start with Season 1 here. In Season 1, right off the bat, we get four original maps with 3 Vortex map variants, which was actually a pretty unique idea to creating map variants, 2 kill streaks, and 5 new weapons, all within Season 1. Right off the bat, we're getting this in Season 1. And then Season 2, we get 3 original maps, 1 remaster, 1 war map, and 2 map variants, as well as 4 new weapons and a brand new vest that we can use in our creative classes. And then you look at Season 3, we get 5 original maps, and I actually have a little asterisk on my little bullet point there that I have on my other screen because I believe one of those maps is actually just taken from a Warzone map. So either way, it's 5 maps and 1 remaster, and then we get 4 new weapons, 3 new vests, 2 new perks, and 2 new field upgrades. I mean, Season 3, like holy moly, we're getting all this in Season 3, and then Season 4 comes around and we get 3 original maps, 1 map variant, 3 new kill streaks, a new perk, 1 new vest, and 4 new weapons. And then Season 5 comes around, and this is where things kind of dropped off for Season 5 and Season 6, but in Season 5 we got 2 new maps, 3 map variants, 1 new piece of equipment, and 4 new weapons. And then Season 6, yeah, admittedly it was pretty dry, but to be honest, Season 6 like did not last as nearly as long as the other seasons, and that's mostly because Black Ops 6 is just about to come out. And so 1 new map, 1 map variant, 5 shipment variants, my goodness, and then 2 new guns, which I guess is an okay way for Season 6. I mean, the season doesn't last very long, so I'm not really picky about that season, but all those seasons, all that content that I just expressed to you guys, I didn't even mention everything in that roadmap for each season, and that is a lot of content. I mean, I'm not going to compare it to any of the other seasons. I mean, that's a video for another time, which I probably will never make. But I mean, I cannot believe how much content this is post-launch. I mean, it's actually incredible what Sledgehammer Games was able to pull off. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was around Season 3 is when we got the Get High mode, and then we eventually got Get Higher, which I thought was a real cool break from the traditional multiplayer experience. And you can essentially just go through this obstacles course and just against other people and hopefully be the first one out of them all. Like, very unique experience that we've never seen in Call of Duty, and especially within multiplayer. And so I mean, I'm just so baffled, like how much content they gave us, and it's actually fun. It made the game so much fun, and it made it so refreshing every time you hopped on. I mean, holy crap, they really kept you engaged all year long, and you have to give them props for that. Sledgehammer Games, like, I would say to pat yourself on the back for this, but realistically, you should go out to the bar and celebrate, because this is an achievement that we have not seen since Modern Warfare 2019 when it came to post-launch content and that we got within every season. I mean, now I want to actually bring this up. This is something that I definitely think is like an elephant that's in the room that we definitely need to address. We have to remember that this game did launch with the original Modern Warfare 2 maps, right? I'm definitely aware that this game launched with maps that have essentially already existed, just been updated graphically and are just put into this game. And so it makes sense that by doing that, they're able to actually work on original content and be able to grind it out and put a lot of it out there post-launch. And so it was probably a lot easier that way. And I don't want to make it sound like that I'm criticizing Sledgehammer Games for, giving us remastered content at launch and then giving us the original stuff later. I want to make it clear that I'm not complaining about that really that much, because if I'm being honest with you guys, Sledgehammer Games has had a really shitty end of the stick when working under Activision, because Activision keeps pulling them away from whatever project they want to work on, and they have to like go and help out whatever current Call of Duty game is out, or help out with a different Call of Duty project that might not even be their main title. And so Sledgehammer Games, they keep getting pulled away and trying, and Activision just keeps taking away from projects that they should be working on. And so I feel bad that they've been treated this way, but with Modern Warfare 3, they've really proven themselves as a good studio and how to actually have a fun experience throughout the entire year with this post-launch content. And to even add more engagement on top of what I've already talked about that they've included within all the seasons, they've even given us like multiple events throughout the season. Some of these events were specifically XP based, so you just had to earn XP to earn rewards. But then there was other events that came through where you actually had to complete specific challenges in order to earn the reward. And then of course, if you completed all the challenges, you got a final reward, which usually looked pretty good. And that was the thing, like sometimes when these events would come through to Call of Duty, they were really like far and few between, and whatever the rewards were, they usually weren't worth it. But this time around, they actually made the rewards worth it. It seemed like there was an incentive to actually participate in these events and actually get them done, because the rewards were free and they were actually pretty decent looking, at least in my opinion they were. And so some of these, of course, like items that you could earn for completing these event challenges were like weapon charms, emblems, calling card stickers. And then of course, it seemed like usually the final reward you got for completing all the challenges were either camos and gun blueprints that also looked really good. I mean, these cosmetic items were actually so impressive looking that I couldn't believe that we were getting free cosmetics that actually looked good, if not better, or just as good as the items that you would get in bundles. And so that's something I definitely appreciate, and I'm so happy that Sledgehammer Games has proven that that can actually happen within a Call of Duty game. And another thing to even put on top of more engagement content, every season we got ourselves weekly challenges. So if you completed 5 weekly challenges within a given week, you would get yourself an aftermarket part. Sometimes it wasn't always an aftermarket part when you completed the weekly challenges, but every week you basically got an aftermarket part, which was essentially attached onto a gun you already own, but it made it completely different. So it was as if you were using a new weapon in the game. And so aftermarket parts were a really good feature to put into this game, and it's something that's like pretty similar to the operator mods we saw within Black Ops 4, and it's something that needs to stay in Call of Duty. It definitely adds way more playability to this game. And like I just said, these aftermarket parts, they change the way the gun performs drastically, right? It's not some small change it does to the weapon. These aftermarket parts really change up the way the gun performs, and so it's literally as if you're using a different weapon. And so I think that is so cool that we got something like that, and you can earn one of those parts every week or so. So that was just really cool to see throughout all the seasons consistently. Another new feature that they added in this game that we haven't even seen before in previous Call of Duty titles, and that is Armory Unlocks, where essentially you had to complete daily challenges or earn wins to unlock items that were either not available until you reached a higher level, or it was an item that can only be unlocked via Armory Unlocks. And so, of course, you get around 3 or 4 daily challenges a day, and so that's like essentially, 3 points of Armory Unlocks that you could apply to one of the items you want to unlock. And of course, like every win that you get throughout the day also counts towards progress for these Armory Unlocks. And so Armory Unlocks, not really sure how I feel about them. I can see why people didn't like them when the game first launched and everyone's trying to start from the very beginning to unlock everything. But at the same time, I kind of like them because it gives you the opportunity to unlock something at a higher level that might take a lot longer to actually reach than you might anticipate. But I honestly wouldn't be completely mad if we don't see something like this return in the future. I think it's actually a good system to unlock items that are not part of the current progression path that we have in the game. Like, I think it would be a better system if they actually made it where the only things you could unlock from the Armory Unlock system were only in the Armory Unlock system. So you actually had to participate in completing all of those daily challenges in order to unlock that item, rather than just reaching like level 45 or something to unlock it at that point. So I don't know. I think they could definitely make the system a little bit better in the future and actually make it seem more unique than what it currently is, because you definitely reach a point where you're just going to unlock everything. And I've definitely unlocked everything for a long time now. It seems like everything I have left is just calling cards or emblems, which I don't really care for all that much. And so I just thought I'd throw in my little bit of criticism there with Armory Unlocks, because I know everything's been pretty positive so far in this video. And so I just thought I'd like do a little bit of criticism on something here, just because I'm not a huge fan of the Armory Unlock system, just because, like I said, you're going to reach a certain point where you unlocked everything that you want to unlock, and it's just, the system just kind of stays there and you don't really engage with it whatsoever. Like, I literally gave up on completing daily challenges a long time ago because there was nothing for me to really earn anymore. So it just seemed like something that just didn't really have a long-term effect with the game. And I think that's a consideration that needs to be taken if Sledgehammer Games wants this introduced in their next COD game. The one thing Sledgehammer Games did with Modern Warfare 3 is that they pretty much took elements from MWII and then improved upon them. There's only really a couple examples I'll really give right here in this video, but the one thing I will say is that they improved the movement, for example, right? MWII definitely had a more sluggish and slower movement, and that might be mostly due to like the attachments just causing you to move slower. But either way, the movement is by far a lot faster than MWII. You can actually shoot while sliding, which is like crazy, right? I don't know why Infinity Ward like doesn't like that in their games. And also we had a classic working mini map. Like, seriously, Infinity Ward, like, I have to keep pointing that out and making fun of you for it, because like, we need a classic mini map. It is destined to be a permanent thing within Call of Duty. Keep it there, and thank you, Sledgehammer Games, for actually listening to the community on this one and providing us a classic mini map in this game. Another thing I like to mention is that the Camo Progression is also very similar to what we saw within MWII. It's pretty much the same system, and that's something I actually gives Infinity Ward props for in their last COD game, is I thought the Camo Progression path was a lot better than we've had in recent years for Call of Duty, and I wouldn't mind if we stick with this same Camo Progression system in the future, although I know Black Ops 6 is going to be different, and we'll have to see how that plays out. But the way that you unlock camos in this game, you know, you do have to level up your gun to unlock camo challenges, which I'm not particularly a fan of. That's probably the biggest criticism I have within this Camo Progression system. But the challenges you actually have to complete for the majority of weapons are pretty reasonable, and they don't feel very tedious at all whatsoever. There's a couple of them that I don't really like, getting 15 bullet penetration kills to unlock the gilded camo on the Cat AMR sniper rifle. At first, I wasn't a fan of it, but then for some reason, it somehow clicked with me on how to get easy wall penetration kills with it, and so it really wasn't as bad as I thought it might be. So I don't know. I'm just glad that we're not getting we need to get 50 mounted kills or 40 fucking slide kills or something stupid like that. Long shots, mounted kills, those two in particular are the ones I really want to avoid with challenges, and we didn't get to see those at all really within this game. I think the LMGs was the only weapon class where you had to get mounted kills. And there were some long shot challenges, but it was 10 long shots or something, something that wasn't as tedious as you saw in previous titles, such as Vanguard, for example. So definitely happy with the camo system in this game. Very reasonable to actually go for mastery camos, such as, the gilded, I'm trying to remember, was it gilded, forge, and then, oh my gosh, Borealis, I think it's called. And no, Borealis is the zombies one. Either way, the camos look great. That's another thing I gotta say. Even though the camo progression path, I think it's very reasonable, and I definitely give them props for it. But also the camos themselves look so fucking damn good. I can't believe how default camos you get before you unlock the mastery ones look good on the gun. I'm so impressed with how the camos look. There's so many cool looking camos. I have a really hard time choosing whatever camo I want to put on the gun because there's so many good looking ones, and that's another thing I gotta give them props for. The camos were fantastic in this game, so keep it up, Sledgehammer. Now, this is going to be the part of the video where I kind of start wrapping things up with multiplayer here, so there's only a couple of things I want to talk about some more. So ranked play, this is something I did not discuss yet. So although I am not a huge dedicated ranked play kind of guy, like it's something that I don't play every single season. It's usually something I play in the later seasons because I'm busy trying to grind everything else in the multiplayer mode, like the camos, for example. And so it's something, so like I said, I usually don't play ranked play until like maybe season 3 or 4 or whatever. And so this time around, season 5, I think it was, is where I really stayed dedicated to it. And I actually ended up getting to platinum, I think level 1. I don't think I ended up reaching platinum level 2. I think maybe I got halfway through the progression bar there or something, but it's actually the highest level I've ever achieved in a ranked Call of Duty mode. And so, like I said, I don't really play ranked at all whatsoever, and I really didn't start playing it until Vanguard. And I did put a lot of time into MW2 ranked, and I definitely thought that MW3 eventually, and its end product, I thought ranked play in MW3 played much better than what it did in MW2, and that's mostly just due to, like, you know, the movement being better. I thought the original maps they created, such as Vista and 6 Star, were absolutely bangers of a maps to play competitively. And so ranked play, definitely give it a thumbs up. I definitely need to improve as a Call of Duty player, and I want to improve as a Call of Duty player. So I'm very much looking forward to Black Ops 6 ranked play and whatever future titles that are going to have this mode. So yeah, definitely very positive with ranked play. I would say my biggest criticism, by far my biggest criticism with ranked play, and I've noticed this within the last 2 COD games, I noticed that the second to last season, so in this case season 5, right? Season 5 introduced camos that you could unlock within each division of ranked progression path that you would get. So right, so like if by starting, I believe it was the gold division, you could get like this gold ranked camo if you like ended the season as a gold rank, right? But if you ended the season as a platinum rank, you would get this platinum camo, right? And then you of course you could get a crimson camo. They had an iridescent camo, and then there's a top 250 camo, which of course only 250 people are going to be able to earn. So I really like how they added camos that you could earn once the season ended on whatever division you basically landed on from gold and higher, right? I really liked how they added that, but the issue I have with it was only in season 5. I don't know why they don't just have these camos available every season, right? I kind of get why they choose like the second to last season to implement these camos, because essentially time has gone on long enough for people to basically build up their rank if this is something they really want to take seriously. But I feel like you gotta like have those camos there from the start and just keep them there every season. That way, whenever someone goes into rank play and they see what's there, they can be like, oh, there's camos you can earn for reaching this certain rank. And you could be like, well, I'm going to reach this rank so I can earn this camo. And so I don't know. That's my biggest criticism with ranked play. Keep those camos in there. I get you get a camo every single season for getting 100 wins. Those are cool looking camos as well. But please just give us those division camos, right? I love those division camos, and just keep them there every season. Don't wait one season to add it and then never bring it back again. So anyway, that's my biggest criticism there for ranked play. But other than that, great experience, and I look forward to playing Black Ops 6 ranked. All right, real quickly, let's talk about the things I dislike about multiplayer, then we'll go ahead and jump into Modern Warfare Zombies because this video is getting way too long for me. So, the things I dislike, I did kind of mention this earlier, but this game did launch with Modern Warfare 2 maps, right? The OG MW2 maps, every single one of them, except minus the DLC ones, of course, did get remastered as the map pool when this game launched. And I think that was definitely not the best idea for this game. I get in Sledgehammer games situation, it makes sense for them to do this, like as discussed earlier, but I don't think all the maps, and I would say probably the majority of these maps, didn't really flow as well as they probably could have. You know, there's some exceptions, like Skid Row, for example, played extremely well in my opinion, but then other maps, they just really didn't play well at all. And I think the reason why for that being is that you have to remember these maps are like the exact same as pretty much what we saw them in the OG MW2, and you got to think about what else has changed since the original Modern Warfare 2. Well, we're getting the same maps, but now the movement's a lot faster, right? We have unlimited sprints, you know, we can mantle things a lot better. So, you know, of course, here in this game, you're able to like basically climb on top of items and objects that you couldn't normally climb on top of because it just didn't have that feature in the old MW2. So So I definitely don't think it played very well. Also, the spawns is something that never seemed to get much better through the year. I don't know. It seems like ever since Modern Warfare 2019, the spawns have just been atrocious in every Call of Duty game. And allegedly, this is a very small rumor, so take this with a grain of salt, but apparently the spawn system is due to the game engine that it's being played on, which was made by Infinity Ward. So I guess we could technically blame Infinity Ward for the spawn system, but either way, the spawn system did improve a little bit throughout the year, but I don't think it was enough to convince me that you always got a good spawn. I don't know. It is Call of Duty after all, and so I guess it's just the same conversation every single year. But also, shooting down streaks seemed way too easy. That's definitely another criticism of mine. You could definitely create a gun class where you could have an ammo attachment on it where you could take out streaks faster, obviously. Like, I'm not really against having an attachment like that, but even without the attachment, there's certain guns that could really take down a VTOL super fast or an attack helicopter. And so if you're trying to earn those streaks and you earn them and then you call them in and then they can just get shot down really quickly. You know, it doesn't always happen, but with skill-based matchmaking, and if you're a pretty decent player, you're probably playing decent players on the other team, and they probably know well enough to actually shoot down streaks because they know how easy it is. So I guess that's kind of a criticism of mine just to put out there, just because I love using streaks. I mean, it's part of the reason why I got hooked in Call of Duty in the first place. I always like having that adrenaline of earning a big kill streak, such as a gunship or chopper gunner, because I know how much destruction it can cause, but it sucks when I call them in and then they just get shot down. So I did all that effort for basically nothing. And so, I don't know. I guess that's a little bit of a criticism of mine that I just thought I'd throw in there for the last piece of details regarding multiplayer in this video. All right, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it. It definitely means a lot when someone sticks through my video from start to finish. So anyway, let's go ahead and just jump into the last portion of this video, which is Modern Warfare Zombies. And so this is a mode that I think could have had lots of potential, and it's unfortunate that it's the first time we've seen an extraction type mode that has zombies in it within Call of Duty, right? We're of course so used to the normal round-based experience within zombies, but this is the first, this is basically just DMZ with zombies, I guess you could say. But honestly, this is way better than DMZ. I thought I was going to really enjoy DMZ, and I really liked the idea that we had of DMZ within Modern Warfare 2, but unfortunately there was just some glaring issues with it, and it was mostly with the player base that you would go up against in DMZ that just did not make it fun. But here within Modern Warfare Zombies, you can actually team up with other individuals. You don't have to worry about that PvP experience, which I really like. And I definitely think having a zombies extraction type mode within Call of Duty has its place. I mean, of course, we did see Outbreak in Black Ops Cold War, and this is really just a bigger scale of that in a more fleshed out version, I guess you could argue. But, you know, the problem is that this mode just stopped getting updates like halfway through the year. I mean, we got some updates, you know, in the second half of the seasons, but I mean, they announced that Treyarch just wasn't going to focus on this anymore. Like, the support for it was just kind of disappeared. And, you know, I don't necessarily blame Treyarch for, like, you know, kind of cutting the support and then just focusing on Black Ops 6 Zombies, because they should. They should absolutely focus on whatever their main title is and focus on the zombies experience for that game, aka Black Ops 6, right? But it sucks that Activision keeps taking them away from projects just like they do with Sledgehammer games and force Treyarch to give us zombies experiences in games that they're not even making, like Vanguard and Modern Warfare 3. And so I definitely feel bad for Treyarch getting taken away from the zombies, you know, development cycle. And I definitely think it's been hurting zombies a bit, because the zombies community is like kind of desperate for something to happen really good, you know, something really good to happen within zombies. And so, yeah, it really sucks that, you know, they keep getting taken away from these projects and then trying to do something in a different game. And it's so annoying. It's so annoying, but I think Modern Warfare Zombies definitely has its potential. It's just this was not it. You know, I definitely think there's so much more they could have done with this mode because, like I said, it has potential, and I can definitely see where so many things they could add to it to make the experience that much better. Another thing we have to actually remember is that the map we're playing on is Urzikstan, and this is the Warzone map, right? So this map wasn't actually made for zombies. If we were to get a large-scale map such as Urzikstan that was actually made specifically for a zombies extraction shooter experience, it probably would have been way better. And I get that they altered the map a little bit so, you know, it fits within like whatever Modern Warfare Zombies experience they wanted to create for us, but it's still, the map was not meant for zombies. It was meant for Warzone. And so I just have to throw that out there. And also, this might actually be my biggest criticism of the mode because I still actually go back and play it, and I'll probably going to play it tonight after recording this video. And the thing about this mode is that there's mercenaries, right? There's actual like other, I guess, AI controlled, I guess, humans, you could say, that are on the map that will fight you. And of course, they're not very strong. They're basically like recruit difficulty bots that are on the map, but they're scattered like fucking everywhere. And I hate how when you go and do complete contracts, so you can, of course, increase your exfil level, or what is it called, the containment level. You know, completing these contracts are, of course, a big part of the experience and trying to earn enough essence so you can like upgrade your weapons and all that good stuff. The thing is that some of these contracts involve only mercenaries. Like, for example, there's like these Aether rockets that you have to disable, or there's some sort of rockets you gotta disable, but the only enemies chasing after you are these mercenaries. There might be some zombies in the area coming after you too, but you really have to focus on the mercenaries, and it can actually get very overwhelming having, like, especially if you're playing as a solo player, it can be really overwhelming being in a situation where you're trying to take out a fortress, but there's just so many freaking mercenaries around you that they're just shooting at you constantly, and there's like no cover near you, and you just don't know what to do. You're gonna have to die, and you're gonna have to use a self revive, or hopefully someone else in the match could pick you up. And so yeah, mercenaries in the mode. It's called Modern Warfare Zombies, not Modern Warfare Mercenaries, right? Get them fucking out of the mode. Like, if we're going to see this experience return, do not have mercenaries, or make it a more limited experience on having them on the map. Because, like for example, like, there's those mercenary cargos, not cargo, but like, there's like those squad patrols of mercenaries that you randomly come across in Urzikstan where they're just driving. There's like multiple cars driving next to each other. Convoy, I guess is the word. I couldn't think of the word at the time, but yes, there's this mercenary convoy that you can randomly come across while playing zombies, and like that's fine. Like, I like having that sort of interaction when you're just driving around and you just randomly run into them like that. Like, I'm fine with that kind of interaction. But if you're gonna create like a fortress, or actually I think the fortress I'm okay with, it's just the contracts is what I'm more picky with. It's like, make the contracts zombie specific, make it where anytime you're doing a zombies contract, zombies are involved and there's no mercenaries, right? I guess that's just kind of my criticism there, because I just felt like there's way too freaking many mercenaries on this map. Of course, with this experience, the objective is to find like the rarest items possible and then exfil with them, such as like schematics. So that way, when you do exfil with the schematic, you can use it later in the match. I like how they have wonder weapon ones, so you could actually like infill with a wonder weapon if you really wanted to. But I noticed with like the wonder weapon schematics and the classified schematics, it seemed like all of those items are either in the like threat level 3 zone or higher. So like where you have to probably go into like an Aether portal to be able to unlock them. But the thing is, I've never gotten that far within Modern Warfare Zombies, because all of my experience playing this mode has really just been a solo experience. Like, sometimes I'll join other random players' squad if I run into them in the match, and I've never actually played with any of my friends because none of them want to play this mode, and I can't say I really blame them. But it's just that as a solo player, it seems like you're really limited on like what you can actually do, and that's by far my biggest criticism with the mode, is that it's not made for a solo player. It's designed for you to play in a strike team, right? It's really is, because if you really want to like do everything in this mode, you want to unlock all the schematics, you want to go through the entire stories and get all the Easter eggs done and really just do it all, right? If you want to do that, you have to have a strike team. You better have a couple friends that you can play with and actually actually help grind this out, because as a solo player, I limited to myself grinding through the mission challenges because it gets so damn difficult. It's like just running around in the threat level 3 area as a solo player is already as hard enough. And if I try to continue anything further outside of level threat 3 zone, then I'm just going to get my ass whooped. And so, yeah, you're very limited on how far you can get through this mode as a solo player. And I'm probably never going to be able to fight any of the Aether Worms just because of how fucking difficult it's even to get there as a solo player. And so, I don't know. That's definitely my biggest criticism about this mode, is that they don't have that solo experience, and you have to play online every single time. Like whenever you go into a match of Modern Warfare Zombies, there's going to be other people on the map doing their thing as well. So, which I actually do kind of like, because there isn't any PvP, but it's just not friendly as a solo player. And so there really isn't much else for me to say about Modern Warfare Zombies. I've kind of just said everything that's on my mind. I know I've definitely repeated myself multiple times in this video, but I do like the fact that you could actually switch between multiple strike members and how each one has their own containment levels. So I definitely like how they had that variety in there for a little bit. But yeah, it definitely has its benefits. It definitely has its unique experience compared to any other zombies mode we've seen within Call of Duty. But like I said, it has its potential. There's something there for a zombies extraction experience within Call of Duty. It just needs to be done right. And I think part of it, you know, is creating a large scale map that is not designed for Warzone, but is actually designed for a zombies extraction experience. I think that is number one overall that needs to be improved. And then second of all, obviously updating the mode consistently until the next Call of Duty comes out, which did not happen with this mode, unfortunately. So, you know, I'll leave it there with Modern Warfare Zombies, and I'll probably leave it here for the rest of the video, because I really don't have anything else to talk about. I'm sure there's plenty of things I did not discuss that I probably wish I would have brought up, but I really did cover the majority of what I wanted to talk about when reviewing Modern Warfare 3. So there's a lot that I discussed. There's probably a lot of things that maybe many of you agreed with. There's probably some things that you disagreed with. And if you guys actually disagree with me on some of the takes I had within this video, please leave a comment down below and explain why you disagree with me. I'm actually really curious what other opinions you people have out there about Modern Warfare 3. Did you guys enjoy this game? I think this is one of the best COD games we've had since Modern Warfare 2019. I'm definitely not afraid to say how much I fucking despise Modern Warfare 2019 and how much I fucking hate Infinity Ward right now, but this video is not about hating Infinity Ward. This video is about praising Sledgehammer Games and how great of a studio this is. You know, I've played every Sledgehammer Games title. I've been playing Call of Duty for over a decade, for fuck's sake. And I've been here since Sledgehammer Games released Advanced Warfare, which of course was their first main Call of Duty title. Then it was Call of Duty World War II, which was an absolute banger in my books. And then Vanguard obviously did not end up being that great, which we all know. But, you know, you got to give Sledgehammer Games some prop with Vanguard. You know, even though the game was kind of a flop, the gameplay and the way that the game played, the way they designed the game to be played, was not bad. I actually did not mind the way that Vanguard played. It's just that there was just way too many bugs and glitches and things not actually working in the game. That's just made it frustrating. And so, anyway, thank you so much for Sledgehammer Games on creating MWIII. You guys know what you're doing. I really hope other studios like Infinity Ward and Raven Software and even Treyarch can actually learn from you guys, because you really did a good job giving the Call of Duty community an entertaining experience throughout the entire year within each season. And thank you guys so much for that. It's been awesome. I cannot wait for your next Call of Duty game, your official, original Call of Duty title, whatever that might be. It could be Advanced Warfare 2. I know everybody kind of says that out there online, but man, Sledgehammer Games, you fucking rock. I cannot wait for the next game, and you guys should definitely celebrate for how well you did this year. So anyway, that is it for the video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I have no idea what the future of this channel is going to hold. Obviously, I want to cover Black Ops 6. Who knows what my first Black Ops 6 video is going to be, but yeah, I definitely got to get prepared for that, and hopefully I can be more consistent in the future with videos, but keep your expectations low. I'm just going to say that. If you're subscribed to my channel, just keep them a little bit low, okay? I love you guys. You're great, but I know I got to do better when uploading content here on the channel. So anyway, that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I shall catch you guys later.